What's up, guys, and welcome back to another day of DIY workshop. So today we're going to be getting almost the final steps to put the outer seal on the racks. So let me just show you what we need to do. So I spent some time off camera doing some cleaning here at the bottom, just taking the rest of the bottom part of the seal, and I'm going to start cleaning here. I'm going to do a cut somewhere around this area, maybe up to here, and then I'm gonna bend a piece of sheet metal to just cover for this. Need to put some rust converter in here so it doesn't rust from the inside anymore after I clean this. I might just literally chop this section here to make it clean, hammer this bit a little bit, and here I'm gonna have to cut most likely this section from here to here, and then just weld a patch, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. And here it is, fully welded, painted, and ready to go. So now I just need to chop this off and then weld it back in here, and we got our corner bit done. Okay, so this plate is done. It's up to measure. It's just because I have these clips that they pull it just a little bit more outwards. What I need to do now is remove these clips. So I'm going to be doing this one-handed. There you go. Yeah, grind this bit here because it's like totally welded. The proper weld is actually done underneath, but I also have to grind these ones so that this plate can sit flush and cover here. And then once this bit is done, we're gonna go and straighten this bit out here and then do the cutting and prep this plate. However, one of the things I didn't notice is when I was cutting is this bit here that attaches to here. So what I need to do is put this back together and re-weld it. So, but once that's done, then I'll be in a position to start prepping the inner sill to get the outer sill attached to it. So yeah, just a quick update. Okay, so it's mostly welded. I still have to do some grinding in this area. Like this weld is not perfect, but again, this is gonna get the liner in, so I'm not too worried about it. And I might put some seam sealer just to guarantee that it doesn't rust or anything. But I'm quite happy with this result. Now let's just give it a coat of primer and move on to the next steps. Well, with the primer on, it doesn't look that bad. Okay, moving on. So we are going to make a little plate to replace this one here. And there went the motorcycle. So basically I'll weld this little patch here. What we're going to do is we're going to make a plate that goes from here to basically here to carry on this, weld to this bit, which is an inner part of the structure, and then to weld to this bit here, and then it will connect. So it'll go here and then we'll connect to this one. Once that bit is done, we'll basically have all of this patched up. I need to hammer this down just to keep it a little bit more level. This is where the jack support is, and there's a little hole here that we need to fix. And then after that, we're gonna make the replacement for this, which is a bit of a thicker metal, but basically we're gonna do like a curved shaped sheet that will go on top of what we will just build, and then this is done. After that, we might have to basically fabricate this bit section here, that this little curve that attaches to the actual outer seal. And then you just put sim sealer, and then once all of that is done as well, I'm going to prep this with some weld-through primer here at the bottom so that we can weld the seal. And then I'm going to put a coat of dinitrol just to prevent it from rusting in the future. But so let's get to work. So I transferred the shape that I need into this little piece of cardboard. I made those little holes as they exist also on those on the bottom of the car. Now I'm just going to transfer this to this sheet of metal and do some cutting, and then final adjustments and get to welding. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. But first I'm going to have to hammer it a little bit. I'm not sure if it's visible because there's a gap here, so I need to hammer this bit to go a little bit more outwards so it becomes nice and flat. And then I'm going to weld alongside here and alongside here, and then I'm going to drill some holes around here so I can actually spot weld it, just like you see here. Make some spot welds here at the bottom, and then this piece is done. And then we're just going to work on the one that does this curve here. Yeah, almost there. Okay, so I got the piece ready, drilled, painted, because this is going to be on the inside, so it has weld-through primer. And then here at the bottom I've hammered it out to be as smooth as possible, so this is all on a straight line. I've also put some weld-through primer in here. Now there was a hole here that was made by rust, so what I did is I'm not going to patch weld it. What I did is I enlarged the hole until it got to actually good metal, and then I'm going to just put a grommet on it. This way saves me the hassle of trying to weld upside down in a difficult place to reach, and it will also help out drain some water that might seep through. So yeah, so now we're ready to just attach it all up and start welding. welded it, spot welded it, grinded it. I still need to grind a little bit more here and in these areas, but I'm not too worried because we're still going to make the plate that does the curve, so it's going to cover all of this. I just need to make sure that this one here is at the same level as this one. So this one has to be a little bit like I think 1 millimeter lower than this, so that the other one doesn't overlap. But yeah, now I'm just gonna grind it up a little bit more, prime it, and work on the next piece. Right, so I made the piece based on the tape template that I've done previously. Now I need to make sure that we can actually bend throughout this line here. And interesting enough, to make the bend to match the, let me just move over here, this shape here that we have to make this curve, it's just a slight bend. It's not like a straight angle. So what I'm going to do is actually use this bit of the table here, which is exactly the same angle. So I'll just unscrew this a little bit, and then I'm gonna basically shove the piece here and just bend it, hopefully without trying to break my new table, and make like just a slight bend, because this has a curve on it, and hopefully that will do. So we're just gonna spend some time doing minor adjustments, then we're gonna weld this one, and we're, I would say, 90% there. Okay, the piece is now made and already painted with weld through primer. As you can see, it's not perfect, it's a bit banged up, but I don't have the tools to do bends properly, so I actually ended up not having to use the table, but I just, you know, had it with a hammer, with a vise, and it didn't turn out that bad. It fits. So I also made the holes for the spot welds, and here this will hold it here, and also car passing through, and also here there's a bend. This bend is on purpose because there is a small flange underneath the car where this is going to weld to, just to give it an added support. And yeah, it's time to get on with it. And here it is, the welded piece. The black bits are same sealer. They're just put on top of the actual weld, just on the safe side, because you know it's my first time welding and I'm just going a little bit overkill, but better be safe than sorry. This ensures that there's no, you know, that this gets protected from the elements and everything else. And as you can see, proper solid. Also did the same thing on this side. And now what we need to do is build this piece. However, this piece was so corroded that the bottom bit of it was actually missing. So I don't have much to work in terms of template. So what I need to do first is put the outer seal, at least in terms of adjustments. I'll put the outer seal, and that will give me enough space for me to recreate this entire piece. But that is a problem for future me and for the next episode. So, all right, better angle. That was me, and I'll see you all next week.